Well, I think clothes deserve a more casual video, given how unimportant they are. Um, so, leaving home at 17, and having been raised on used clothes, which I learned was a bit of a deal in England when I was going to a public school in West Hoathly, and apparently my garb was atypical. So someone said, "Where do you get that?" And I said, "Oxfam." That's the name of the store. And they said, "Oh, Oxfam Rejects." Oxfam is a charity in England where they sell used clothing to raise money for the charity. And I just thought they were complete nutcases for being obsessed over where I bought my clothes. And buying used clothes at a charity seems like ideal all around. You save money. I've never liked worrying about clothes, and so so that was that. Then when I started buying clothes, I thought about it, and I thought clothes are not important, so I want to get comfort and cheap. So I would go to the Goodwill and get 100% cotton, comfortable clothes, and and that made sense when I was starting a business and saving money. Later, I thought I had observed that certain people obsessed about the way that I dressed. My girlfriend was one of them, who started buying me clothes because I refused to dress in a way that was socially appealing. She wanted me to make her look good by dressing good. And I said, if you want to buy me clothes, you can, but it's not my priority. I'm not interested in the opinion of people who judge other people by their clothes. I think it's a good filter. And for some time, I really liked the fact that if I bought like $3 shirts or $5 pants, if I was to run into someone who needed their car towing or someone needed a hand, I never felt like, oh gosh, I should protect my clothes rather than help this person. I wanted to help the person who needed help, and it just felt great. Like, see, I haven't wasted money on clothes. So, and then people would say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got grease on your shirt," or something. And I'm like, no problem, it's a $5 shirt. If it doesn't come out in the wash, I'll throw it away. Don't worry about it. Clothes aren't important. Human beings are. And, it actually bothered me how much I was being assessed by my clothes. And so I thought, let's see if I can find human beings who notice who I am independent of my clothing. So I deliberately wore comfortable clothing that didn't look cool to notice, could I find people who looked past the clothes and looked at the individual? And sadly, I couldn't, which was very depressing because it spoke to the culture I was in. And so, after a few years of trying to find, like, anyone appreciate the human being other than the clothes, and finding that I was being stereotyped and judged consistently, it just felt like I'm in a dismal culture that thinks clothing is more important than human beings. And so I thought, I'm more important than making this point. So if I am in a culture that truly does think clothing is more important than human beings, I will wear the clothing that gets me, this human being, treated with respect. I'm taking care of my money, I'm taking care of the environment, I'm helping charity, and I'm being comfortable. Those are my values. But those don't count as much as looking good in the way that's trendy as of today. Because, of course, if you go through 500 years of history, the styles are endlessly changing. There's still countries in the world where it is attractive to be fat. The United States has decided it is not attractive to be fat. Who the fuck cares what the United States has decided? These cult things are absolutely arbitrary. So I started wearing nice clothes because I enjoy being complimented. And of course, people complimented my clothes. And I was hoping someone would compliment my eyes while I was wearing thrift store clothes. Doesn't happen. People compliment my hat, my this. So it's a mixed bag. I try and wear things like a medium tall Land's End turtleneck is my favorite shirt. So I wear that almost all the time, but I have multiple colors. And then as they get ratty, I use them for work clothes. And then, I try and, in this, again, there's a lot of judgment on video modes, etc. And so I try and wear things. But I thought it was fitting that I wear my oldest robe just out of the shower for this video. And I really think it's sad that in our culture we don't get to know the meta. We don't get to know the meta behind human beings enough to understand the difference. We have a blanket projection that covers the many distinctions of why people are doing what they're doing for a variety of different reasons. And so, there you have it. And I sometimes wear pajamas shopping. And this is yet another expression. This expression is of an expression of freedom, an expression of comfort, an expression of convenience, and an expression of cultural diversity. Because shopping in one's nice, comfortable pajamas, be they silk or cotton, does not hurt anyone. The pajamas are often more colorful and interesting to look at than the traditional garb. They don't have to be taken off in order to go shopping, so it saves time. So they're more comfortable than the clothes I would put on. They save time. They have a nice flow to them. Let's go shopping and then go, and they bring smiles to people. I could wear an Armani suit to Safeway, and nobody would smile. They might think, oh, that's a cool, important person, but they're not smiling. Wearing flowery pajamas, people smile. Some people come up and say, are those pajamas? And I say, yes. How do you like them? And there's a sense like, well, how am I supposed to respond? Which, of course, the cult doesn't have an answer because it doesn't prepare you to meet people in pajamas like it doesn't prepare us for most of the interesting opportunities in our lives.